Does your life look good on paper, but feel completely wrong on the inside? Mine did. From the outside, you would see New York City, a good job, great girlfriend, friends, cool hobbies. And I couldn't quite put my finger on why I felt so unfulfilled, empty, disembodied. I remember when I first got this job 12 years ago, it felt like a dream. It got me out of my parents' house into the city to build something of my own. And I loved it. I was having fun, I was having different experiences. But then 2019 rolled around and I started to get this itch. And I almost packed up and went to Thailand to teach English. I'd gotten into Muay Thai back in 2016, so I felt like that would be a good next step. And I told myself it wasn't the right time, and I decided that teaching wasn't really for me. So I stayed the course, remained with my job, and then COVID happened the next year. My girlfriend moved in with me, and I became a remote worker, like the whole world did. By 2025, I felt like a shell of a person. I felt like I had become, even though I've been into self-improvement for the last couple decades, and I've had many different experiences and pushed myself in many different ways, I felt like I'd become fundamentally stagnant. And so that year, I took sabbatical. I stepped away. And it was 12 weeks. I spent 7 weeks in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I spent 3 weeks in Peru doing some deep spiritual work. And I came back feeling like a new man, like totally transformed. And just in the way that I carried myself, how I felt in my being, I was more alive. I felt like accomplished, like I had done something. And I realized I was lacking that, taking action, doing these things that I dreamed about. But 3 or 4 weeks later, after returning, I went back to my job, and I realized that old patterns started creeping back in with my job, with my relationship, and the magic started to slip through my fingers. And that's when I realized the travel, the ceremonies in Peru, they weren't a fix. And they were showing me that deeper work needed to be done. Did they enlarge my vision? Did they enrich me? Sure. But I think I was hoping that they would do the work for me. And I realized that just wasn't how it works. And so I started to realize that I needed to start making different decisions about where I live, what I did for work, about relationships. And I needed to start taking action about those kind of things in my life, because that's where the real work was. I realized that I needed to start listening to where my soul was pointing me toward. A cottage upstate with a garden and animals, a motorcycle, and a simpler life with more meaning in it. Not a 9-to-5 job, but a calling, a life task. This is what I learned that I must figure out. And I learned that you can't come back to a dead container and expect it to produce new life. And that these new decisions would ultimately allow a new person to be born. And so that's what this channel is. It's me figuring out in real time what a more aligned life actually looks like, and exploring the things that light me up, topics like meaning and transformation and healing, speaking with people that I feel like I could learn from around these topics, and that I could also share with people like you that resonate with this and could derive their own benefits from it. That stuff lights me up, excites me. And I realize I need to start living this, not only thinking about it, to start bringing it into my real life so that I could actually embody it and not hide from the person that I am. I'll say that I'm not a guru, and I'm not going to pretend to be from the outset. I don't have all these answers. I'm very much on the path and trying to figure it out in real time right now. And you've caught me at a very liminal, like in-between place, where I'm getting ready to leave something and close something out, but before the new thing, has taken root. So thanks for watching, and welcome to my channel around what it means to become who you are.